Okay, so we're gonna start our new project.
Yay! Aren't you happy to have another project?
Hang on, I always do this before I pick it up afterwards. Okay, I got a galvanized bucket because we have a bucket list.
Woohoo!
Is that what it's called?
Yes,
Yeah,
a
holiday bucket list. So this is our beginning project.
Nice.
I got this at Hobby Lobby, and so you can hang it up on your wall. And we're going to use the scan and cut today, and we're going to use our embroidery machine today, and we're going to show you all the things. And you're going to make a fun little, you can just tuck it away for Christmas. For the holidays. Yes, it'll be done. Just think, you're that much ahead of the game. Yeah. All right, we'll show you how to do it. Make a note of what you need. You need your heat transfer foil, which you've been given inside of your not bucket, but your package that they gave you, and the embroidery foam, and a rinse away mesh stabilizer, and a rinse away clear topper, and your weeding tool. Remember, that's the fancy tweezers, like that. And you need your matte thread and your flawless thread and your perfection tape. Okay, and your galvanized bucket and the heat craft gun. Okay, and here are the dimensions you need to make sure you cut them in. Here's Sue. We're going to use a white foam
for our ornaments, and they're 3 by 3. So. It sticks so well it won't move. There we go. And then 7 by 7, correct?
Yes. Okay. To prepare for embroidery, cut 2 pieces of rinse away mesh 2 inches larger than the hoop. Hoop both layers of the rinse away mesh in a 4 by 4 hoop. And wind bobbins. I'll get to that in just a second. So this is what Sue is doing. Here's our 4 by 4 hoop.
So I want to go out 2 inches from there. So it's going to be 8 inches.
What's the hoop?
Here we go.
What did you notice about it?
Oh yeah, I didn't cut it properly because I cut it to be 2 inches wider, but guess what? When I turned it, it's a little bit taller.
So we barely had enough here on the side.
So we're gonna try this out and see.
And then make the adjustments for the next cut. So we're gonna wind bobbins with 60 weight flawless thread, matching the color to coordinate with the main part of the design, or use a Quilter Select pre-wound bobbins. So Sue had she went and got various different colors of pre-wound bobbins so that we don't have to wind them ourselves, because we don't like winding them ourselves.
We want to get started.
So we have a brown one in here, and we're going to do the gingerbread guy. Look at him. He's so cute. And we're going to bake cookies. At least we're going to pretend like we're baking cookies. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. So we load one of the design files, which we're going to do this one here. And an example, we're using the bake design, which has 5 color stops. Please refer to the PDF color charts for the embroidery steps for each design. And embroider the foam placement line with any color thread. So it says center 1 piece of dimensional embroidery foam over the placement line and change to a matching bobbin, embroider over the foam, color number 2. Okay, helpful hint. Use REK embroidery perfection tape to secure the foam and stabilizer so it won't shift during the embroidery, like that. All right, the tape has just the right amount of adhesive to hold without leaving residue. Here we go. We're gonna put the foot down. We've got the thread way over here and in a cup back there, just so that it can behave itself. All right. Okay, here it is. It's taped down. Now we have the right color of thread and all that, so here we go. To embroider color 3 and 4, do not stitch the final color 5, which is small lettering, if you are embroidering another file besides bake. The small lettering is always the last color. Okay, so we're going to do this cart here next. Color number 4. Now center a piece of rinse-away topper over the design and tape to secure it. Using a topper helps keep the small text raised above the filled stitches and produces the best results. Okay, like that. I've got my rinse away topper on there, and I'm gonna do the next part. Now for color number 5. After the design is complete, tear away the excess foam and topper and trim the excess stabilizer, leaving a 1/4 inch of stabilizer. Rinse the tokens in warm running water to remove excess rinse away mesh. It's not necessary to remove the stabilizer or to rinse until the stickiness goes away. Pat them dry with a paper towel. Place all the rinse designs flat on a cookie sheet and dry them in an oven. Set at 175 degrees for 10 minutes or until they dry flat. Very interesting. Now with a small craft iron, iron the tokens edges to shrink away the foam that may be visible around the edges. So this is the next one I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna lay it down, show where the foam placement line is.
Sometimes it takes so long to decide. I missed your playing yesterday.
So Sue is going to show us the scan and cut part. Hang on, let me read the instructions here. It says, load the SVG files into the digital cutter. The reindeer and the gold and believe. The files have already been mirror imaged for working with heat applied vinyl. Place the carrier side down, which is the shiny side, on the digital cutting mat. And scrape the foil to remove any air bubbles and secure the foil. All right, so we're gonna watch Sue as she does this, and it says now cut each file as follows and use the vinyl weeding tool to remove the background foil. Now that's interesting. I think I said that this was the vinyl weeding tool, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not at all. Show us the vinyl weeding tool.
This is the vinyl weeding tool. Ta-ta.
Wow. That looks
It's
like
very
a weapon.
nice. It is. Don't drop it straight down on your foot. It'll go through.
Wow.
It is super, super sharp.
And it's very heavy.
But it feels nice in your hand. And you do want to use those tweezers also. You have them on hand so that you can pull in some of those corners that you can't.
All right, so show us. You've already downloaded the files. Is that right?
I downloaded the files, and now I will just select the two that I'm going to do in this cut.
Okay.
So I have my designs on a USB, so I'm just going to go to the USB now. This is when you turn it on and you're ready. So I'm just going to go to retrieve data. I'm going to go to my USB because I have my designs on there, and I'm going to do the black reindeer because that is I have the black on my cutting mat. So I'm just going to hit OK. All right, and then I'm going to add, because I also have the believe on my, so I'm going to retrieve data, go once again to my USB, and I'm going to go here to my believe because it's the gold, and
It's mirror image.
it's mirror imaged, yes. And so whenever you bring something into scan and cut, it always brings it to the top left hand side. So I probably could have or should have moved it, but since I have to move them anyway,
It's good for us to see anyways how you do it.
how it does. So now what I want to do is I'm going to load my mat, and I'm going to hold on, make sure that it's between where the mat should be. I'm going to hold on to it, and I'm going to hit this button, which is to install my mat. There it goes. Okay, now my mat's loaded. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push this button because I wanted to scan my mat, because I want to place my designs on the different colors. And this is what is so nice about the scan and cut, is you don't have to worry about where you place it. You can scan your mat, it'll give you the picture, and you can move your designs. Okay, so there we go. So I'm pretty close, so I'm just going to move this down just a teens, and you know what, I can actually use the tool. Okay, and I'm kind of moving it to the side, not for any reason except to save as much of my vinyl. And I'm going to move that in just a teeny too. All right. Okay. So I'm ready to go. So I'm going to hit OK. And now it's going to ask me to select. And I'm going to cut. So that's what I'm going to choose. Now I am doing vinyl. So one of the things that I need to change is, see this half cut? It is off. I need to turn that on so that it will cut my vinyl how I need it to be cut. I'm gonna do a half cut, and we can put a weeding box on. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna hit OK. And see how now everything has a box right around the design? The advantage of that is that if we're using a big sheet to cut from, then you're only gonna have to take out around your design, not worry about the whole sheet. Okay, so now we are ready to we need to do a test. So here's my test, and he doesn't want to move. So I just came and got the arrows, make it a little easier. Okay. And I know it's, but I like to just double check and make sure because I don't want to have to ruin any vinyl. So, and now it's only going to cut out
The test, right?
the test. All right. Well, I can see it, and that's a good thing. So I'm just going to come in here with this, and look at how nice that is. Okay. I didn't have to tug. I didn't have to pull. It came off nice and clean. So I'm just going to hit start and let it cut everybody out. This is kind of fun because you can't really see what's cutting.
You just know it's very busy.
Mm-hmm. When are you going to do that one? There we go. Oh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I'm done. And I'm going to unload my mat. And can you see?
Yeah, we can.
So see how our outline box is here? So we don't have to worry about pulling all of this. We can save all of this. So we only have right around the reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with the belief. So.
All right, now for weeding.
Yeah.
So it says that we're gonna have to use the black foil to cut the file and use red foil to cut the file. So it looks like we're gonna have to do some of this type of thing. So that's what we have to do. Right now we only have the black, right? We only have the black one cut out. and then the believe. So we'll have to do one more of the red.
All right, and then that comes. I know I should have tweezers, but
Works really well.
there's a lot of E's in in a loopy font. Okay. And then, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Ta-da.
Oh, wow.
And we'll just cut off so it just has the clear.
That is neat.
Okay.
Okay, now for the red
Yep.
reindeer.
Now we have to do the red. Okay, so I came in to retrieve the red reindeer because we need the red reindeer to be able to weed the black. So that's what we need. Oops, guess what? I forgot to take out my other one. So I'm gonna leave that highlighted. I'm gonna hit edit. I'm gonna delete it. Same with the other one. It's all highlighted so I can hit delete. All right, so we got an okay. And there's our design. So we're going to once again scan our material. Okay, now I'm gonna, nope, okay. So notice when I touch the screen, for whatever reason, it's not grouped. So I wanna hit edit, object edit, and, okay, interesting. Oh, here. Okay. Now can I move it? Yep. Okay. I'm gonna hit OK. Please select. Hit cut. And because I haven't changed, I just did a half cut. So the half cut is still on and the box should be on, and I don't need to test because it's already the same product. So I'm gonna hit start, and here we go.
So here we have all these parts. This was really tricky. To figure out, we had to print out the red and then take a look at the picture and then figure out what part was not in one and not in the, and like, yeah, you can see. That was really tricky. Okay, so now to have the foil stick to metal, you will be using a heat gun. A heat-resistant pot holder to push on the heated metal and some tape. It's also important to point out there should be an extra carrier sheet on each side of the design so the tape won't melt. We recommend file 3 wider than the design. Don't worry if you feel like you're wasting foil because the weeded foil is thick enough and can be used for a tearaway applique. All right, so tape the black reindeer to the bucket as shown. Using a heating gun, rotate it in circular motion to heat the reindeer design. Use a pot holder to push the foil into the bucket and continue to heat and push on the foil until it sticks to the metal. All right, there's the first part of the reindeer. Now we're going to heat up and do the red over the top of it. So what I did is I would just I'd heat it up for a bit, and then I would press and press and press and press, and then I'd heat it up a little bit more, and then I'd grab this and I'd press it in like this, and then we did the reindeer, which worked out great, way better than we thought. And now it's time to take apart the Believe. You can already see it's gonna peel off. Okay, I'm gonna use 2 hands. Taught me something about bubbles. What happens if I see a bubble in here, which I did, and what was your remedy for that?
My remedy for a bubble is to take a straight pin and pop your bubble, and then heat it up again and press it down, and that will take away your bubble.
Press it down with the sheet that it came off of, right? Press it down and then heat it with the tool over the top. All right. So, all right. Now y'all know she's genius. That's what you know.
Tips and tricks is my game.
Thank you for enrolling in License to Create Warm Winter Wishes. I'm sure each of you either own or are subscribing to Embellish Maker software and Craft and Cut software. So what I'm about to show you, each of you will be able to recreate yourself. The Holiday Bucket List. This is one of my favorite projects. It brings families together during the warm winter season. Now on the little tokens that are dropped inside of the beautiful bucket, you can personalize those to add family theme using text inside of Embellish Maker. I want to show you some of the beautiful small texts that are built right into the software program, so you can change "take a selfie" to something your family would love to do together. In Embellish Maker software, open a new page and then open one of the designs from the holiday bucket list. We're going to use the selfie design, so look for that and click open. We're going to view this in 3D, and then over in the sequence window, select the text and then delete it by selecting delete on your keyboard, right-clicking and choosing delete, or if you have Craft and Cut software, you have this little shortcut tool that you can delete it. The next thing we're going to do is group everything. So select everything in the sequence window by clicking and holding down Control, or on your computer keyboard select Control and the letter A. We're going to come over to the Modify window and choose Group. Now that the design is grouped, it expanded everything in the sequence view. Let's clean this up by right-clicking in this area and choose Collapse All. Let's go ahead and create text. Let's choose a red color and now choose text. You've got a lot of text available to you in the text tool. We're going to use traditional straight text. So I'm going to click on this and then click in this area. Notice the text is very large. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and change to a different font. In the Properties window, choose in the font the drop-down arrow. Click and the arrow will appear. As you scroll down, we have several built-in text font that would be perfect for using, and you'll notice they say 3 and 4 millimeter behind the name. That indicates that their fonts specially digitized to work with small lettering. So let's just choose one of those. Let's scroll down here until I get to the first one, and that is going to be Elfin 4mm. I'm going to select that and then select apply, and you can see now that I have a small text. I'm going to click on the select arrow to get out of the text mode and just drag it into the token. In the text window, I'm going to type in picture with Santa. I'm going to choose apply, and now I have picture with Santa in this area. I can drag it and position it wherever I want. A couple of things to notice is when you hover your mouse over a font, it's going to show you the minimum and the maximum height. Because we chose a small font, 4mm is the maximum and 4mm is the minimum. So I don't want to change the size of this. However, I could add more in the line spacing. So right now it's at 25. Let's change it to 50. And now there's more space between each line of text. We also can space the letters further apart. Let's just choose 0.5 and apply and see what happens. So you can play with this however you like. You also have alignment for the different lines. Here's my undo button. So if I like this text, I could save the file, but we can also choose some of the other beautiful built-in fonts. I love Emma Grace. When I hover my mouse over Emma Grace, I see that the maximum height is 0.24 inches or 6mm. You know, 6mm isn't far away from 4mm. So let's select apply. And if you notice, it's large. But hovering my mouse there again, it tells me 0.24. So in the height, I'm going to change that to 0.24 and now apply. I love the way this looks. So having this here, I think I'm going to go with this. But let's just center some things. So for instance, this is off center. I want to select everything again by clicking over in the sequence window, or I can drag a mouse to select everything, and we're going to align this. On the left side, let's open the alignment tab, and here we're going to choose center. When I click off, you know, that doesn't look good to me. So instead of choosing center, let me choose undo. Now with everything selected, what would it look like with horizontal center align? I think that looks so much better. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to right click and left click on collapse. To save this file, I'm going to go ahead and click here to save the native WAF. That's important because if for some reason I didn't like this font, I could come in here and just click and change it. Now that I know that I like this, I'm going to save it to my machine embroidery format. I'm going to choose File, Save As, and now I'll choose it in the language that I need. And we'll change this to PIC and save it. Copy it to a USB stick and then put it into the machine and follow the directions for your personalized token.